to tell them I didn't slam it. Right, Acts 14:21, it says, they preached, so this is Paul and Barnabas, they've gone on their missionary journey. They've gone on a journey to tell people the good news. It says they preached the good news in that city and won a large number of disciples. They returned to Lystra, Iconium and Antioch, strengthening the disciples and encouraging them to remain true to the faith. We must go through many hardships to enter the kingdom of God, they said. Paul and Barnabas appointed elders for them in each church, and with prayer and fasting committed them to the Lord, in whom they had put their trust. God, we've been praying here a lot. Fasting's the next one. After going through Pisidia, they came to Pamphylia, and when they had preached the word in Persia, they went down to Attalia. From Attalia, they sailed back to Antioch, where they had been committed to the grace of God for the work they had now completed. That was a bit about the end of their journey. It says, on arriving there, they gathered the church together and reported all that God had done through them and how he had opened the door of faith to the Gentiles. So you see what they did. They did it. They went on the journey. They came back and they reported back. It is so important for us as a church when we do something, in fact when we do anything, that we don't just forget what we've done. It's so important for us to report back. And for all sorts of reasons, not least that we actually encourage each other. When we report back the stories of last week, we will encourage each other. Already there's some of that been going on Facebook. There's a lovely feed on our church site where people just started telling their stories about how they spoke to people and what the response was. I mean, the biggest report back is, if you've got the notes, I hope you've got the notes. If you haven't got the notes, I've got a big pile here. Who hasn't got notes? Oh, can you kind of pass them around? Oh, Susan's it, and Ian are jumping up there, thank you. But I'll just report this one. I had a lovely conversation with a person on their way out. Now, these three people have been charging their phones, they've been eating free food, they've been here for quite a long time. A few people had chats with them. Nothing major, I don't think anyone had a major world-changing chat with them or anything, but this is something of the feedback I received. Now, they didn't write it down. After the feedback about my backside, I just took the board down. I thought this is going, it's all about me, my bossing. Do you like it? Don't even think about it. Don't even answer that question. But seriously, the reason we stopped the God Loves You board was because we just wanted to focus on the prayers. And we just didn't want to overwhelm people with asking them to do things. But anyway, this girl on the way out just said to me words to the effect of, thank you so much for all you've done so good. I really appreciate it. And then she started to get quite emotional, and she started saying, this has been the most positive experience I've ever had of church. I've never had such an experience of church as I've had here. She said it really has affected me. And I said, thank you so much for that feedback. I said, would you be able to write that down? Because I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose out in the busyness of today. I want to keep a hold of that feedback and encourage other people. So she wrote it on the heart there, and she said, this has been the most positive experience I've ever had within a church. So much love, warmth, and joy. And that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to hear back, isn't it? To know that there's people who've come in here simply to charge a phone, or to listen to music, or have a drink, and they've gone out with a complete new mindset about church and about God. And that's a lot of what we were doing. Some people had some slightly more intense encounters. Some people we talked to and we prayed with, which was wonderful, because a need comes out and we offer to pray and they say yes, and great things happen like that. And I just want to share that it wasn't all one way either. I know that we were really blessed. I'll just share a couple of things that came back my way, which really encouraged me. I was sat here on this stage here, just talking to some people, and they'd obviously been looking at our plans. And this lady, I don't know who she was, where she was coming from, or anything, she just says to me, she says, I want you to know, and it wasn't just a flippant comment, she goes, I want you to know it's going to happen. And to me, God encourages us for all sorts of ways, doesn't it? To me, that was a real godly encouragement, because my prayer, and you need to know this actually, I'm going to pray this is going to happen, but I'm going to pray that it's not going to be a stress for the church if it happens. I'm praying it's not going to be a big thermometer on the wall that we're desperately trying to raise the money for. I'm going to pray that's going to happen because it's part of church growth. That it's happening because the church is growing in number, we need more room, we need more space to do what we do. So if it's going to happen, then we need some big input from God. And this lady just looked at me, she says, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And that was such an encouragement. And other things as well. Somebody said to me, it's on the Facebook feedback review actually, if you want to look at our reviews on the Church Roundabout Facebook page. Somebody just reviewed, this church is going to be big. People are saying this without realising, I think, what they're saying sometimes. But then, if you look back in the Bible, God used donkeys to say things. God can use whatever He likes, whoever He likes, whenever He likes to say things. And when He's saying things because it just resonates in here. And praise God. So, those are just a few of my things. I just wonder if anyone else has got any things that they want to share from what happens, from your experience of the weekend. I don't know if anyone has particularly. Do I start calling people up?
I spoke to a lovely young lady called Chloe, who's sitting over there. She said something very similar. She said, this is the nicest thing I've ever experienced.